Hello all, 4-Player Squad Gaming here, and this is our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series. Xelphatol is a level 60 dungeon which is part of the main story quest line and featured during the quest Shadows of the First. The quest giver is Alphino in 4 Temps Manor. It is also worth mentioning that at the time of recording this video, 70 Tomestones of Poetics are awarded upon completion. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the guide. Start this duty progressing forward and avoiding the falling debris from above. This will be indicated with circular AoE zones to avoid. Clear the first set of adds, avoiding a frontal cone AoE, and then pick up the patrolling Harpeia on the climb. Further ahead, our path is blocked with a closed gate. Clear the adds in front and an incredibly lucky positioned rock will fall and smash the gate open. Head up the wooden bridge and clear the toad and slugs ahead. Once clear, keep making your way up the mountain path, avoiding the falling debris and clearing the mobs in your way. Another incredibly lucky rock will fall, smashing the gate open, allowing access to boss fight number 1. Nuzal Hueloc is our first boss. Start this fight as normal with the tank gaining enmity and the party dealing damage. This boss has a very small health pool, but has mechanics we can't ignore. Avoid the AoE column from Wind Blast, and at around 50% health, Nuzal will start to cast Lift. Once the boss is in the air, we cannot target it. We need to kill the Ixali adds quickly and then the floating turret. Once the floating turret is killed, it will start to cast Hot Blast, and when it completes, all players will be knocked into the air. We need to position ourselves under Nuzal when we are being knocked up, as this will pop his balloon, allowing us to damage the boss again. Be mindful of the debuff Windburn. This can and should be cleansed as to reduce damage taken. Once Nuzal has been knocked down and damaged some more, 2 air stones will spawn and tether to Nuzal. Kill the stones to break the tethers and allow us to damage the boss. These mechanics will repeat until the boss is down. Pick up your loot and proceed. Head into FFXIV and engage the Brave Wing and World Talon. Watch out for a frontal cone AoE, avoid or interrupt as necessary. Head onto the platform ahead and focus the Siege Gubu first, then the Strong Beam. Make sure to interrupt the cast of Sneeze. This frontal cone AoE will debuff the party with poison and knock players back. Standing on the spikes around the edge of the platform will inflict party members with a bleed. Once clear, head up the wooden path and engage the mobs ahead, and shortly after, more mobs will join the fight. Once cleared, head up the ramp and clear some more Ixali adds. Make sure to pick up the bone key from the Brave Wing and unlock the gate. Open the treasure coffer and then take the lift up to the next level. Once at the top, engage the 2 Siege Gubus and the Strong Beam. Make sure to interrupt, stun or dodge the AoEs in this area to avoid debuffs and excess damage. Head up the path and towards boss fight number 2. Boss fight number 2 is Dotoli Ciloc. Start this fight as normal with the tank gaining enmity and the party dealing damage. The barriers around the room are essential for this fight, so make sure you know where they are. On low is a frontal cone that deals moderate damage, avoid this as necessary, and on high is a room-wide AoE that knocks all players back. Make sure to stand with your back to a barrier to stop yourself being pushed onto the spikes and taking bleed damage and a vulnerability up debuff. Periodically throughout the fight, Dotoli will target a random player with dark wings. Make sure to bait this out of the way of the barriers as a whirlwind is left behind. Later in the fight, Dotoli will use Swift Feather. This makes his next cast almost instant, so be ready to quickly avoid on low directly after the cast of Swift Feather, or be ready to mitigate and heal through the damage. The fight will continue with more whirlwinds and knockbacks. Keep up the damage and this fight will soon be over. Pick up your loot and proceed. Head out to the cave and engage the mobs ahead. We need to kill the war balloon in this area and the adds that it carries. Once cleared, pick up the airstone that is dropped. Place the airstone in the Tailwind relic and head across the gap. Progress forward and clear the area ahead, making sure to kill both of the war balloons and all the adds they carry. Once they are both down, pick up the airstone, place in the relic and head across. Head up the ramp towards the Skycaller. This mini-boss has multiple different attacks that can be interrupted. Make sure to avoid the AoE circles from the Hornbill ad as well. Once they are down, enjoy the short cutscene. Tozol Huatotl is our final boss. Start the fight as normal with the tank gaining enmity and the party dealing damage. Throughout the fight, the boss will mainly use 3 abilities: Ixali Arrow 1, 2 and 3. Ixali Arrow 1 is a single target attack dealing moderate damage to the main enmity threat. Ixali Arrow 3 is an area-wide burst AoE, and Ixali Arrow 2 is a frontal column AoE, avoid this as necessary. In between these attacks, the boss will also mark the party members with the green version of Hawk. When the party is marked, they need to spread out to avoid overlapping damage. The second version of Hawk is a central stat marker, where all players must stand together to reduce damage taken. These mechanics will repeat until 50% health when Tozol summons Garuda. In this phase we must deal with the mechanics mentioned before and avoid a large donut AoE and frontal cone AoE from Garuda. Make sure to move quickly and get ready to mitigate damage if you can't avoid the AoE in time. It is more important not to stat Hulk in this phase rather than avoid Garuda's AoE. However, standing centrally and then spreading into the safe space easily negates these mechanics. After Garuda disappears, the mechanics from before will continue. Make sure to keep up the damage and before long you will have killed the boss. And there you have it, Xelphatol is complete. Remember to commemorate the player you believe deserves it most and pick up your loot. We give this duty a difficulty rating 2 out of 5 swords. The boss fights are very simple and very little mechanic knowledge is needed. The special loot for this duty includes the Valkyrie's equipment and accessories are level 225, the Shaggy Stoke minion and the Tozol card. Remember to like, comment and if you haven't already, click to subscribe. Up next is the Great Goobel Library Hard. We are 4 Player Squad Gaming. Until next time, thanks for watching.